Unbeknownst to a teacher, he picked the wrong student for a joke, as the student turned out to be a highly trained North Korean operative named Dae-ho, formerly Myung-hoon. Dae-ho is on a secret mission in South Korea and has enrolled in a school to maintain a cover. His first encounter is with a gentle and courteous girl named Lee Hye-in, whose name remarkably matches that of his sister, who is currently imprisoned in North Korea. As soon as Dae-ho joins his classmates, a group of bullies singles him out for harassment. When he rebuffs their advances, they escalate the situation by dragging him to the rooftop, where their leader lands a punch that draws blood from Dae-ho's mouth. Yet, his trained physique and composure allow him to shrug off the pain. Meanwhile, one of the bullies takes an interest in Dae-ho's physique, remarking on his toned body, and proceeds to search him, confiscating his wallet and rummaging through its contents. Inside the wallet, the bullies find a photograph of Dae-ho with his loved ones, his sister and late father, along with some cash. Dae-ho, anxious to protect the sentimental picture, warns the bullies to take the money and return the photo. When they refuse, he retrieves the picture and readies himself for a confrontation, clenching his fist. Just then, the teacher arrives on the rooftop, disperses the group, and orders everyone back to class. To calm himself down, Dae-ho heads to the basketball courts. Dae-ho is aware that engaging in a physical altercation would compromise his mission and blow his cover. So, he restrains himself. In class, the teacher playfully teases students with a wooden stick before dismissing them for break, reminding them of their cleaning duties. Once the teacher leaves, the bullies seize the opportunity to order Dae-ho and Hye-in to clean the classroom, including the windows. The next day, Hye-in is again targeted by the bullies, and although Dae-ho is displeased by this sight, he is still unable to intervene without risking his mission. Dae-ho recognizes the need to maintain his composure and refrain from reacting, so he assists Hye-in in gathering the trash being thrown at her by their classmates. The bullies mockingly comment that the two seem like a suitable pair, but their harassment of Hye-in persists. Later that day, they isolate her in a private office and steal an envelope containing money she was carrying, intended for her ballet lessons, a passion of hers. As she attempts to retrieve the stolen funds, the bullies further humiliate her by tearing her shirt. As Dae-ho approaches the office, he witnesses the bullies' latest transgression and decides they have gone too far. He confronts them, unleashing his trained combat skills, methodically taking them down by breaking their necks, legs, and wrists. The next morning, Dae-ho notices Hye-in's absence from school. Meanwhile, the teacher administers a test, strolling around the classroom with his signature stick, playfully teasing students and emphasizing the need for mental focus. When he approaches Dae-ho, preparing to tap him with the stick, Dae-ho instinctively grabs the teacher, putting him in a hold, revealing a glimpse of his trained reflexes. The young spy, realizing his overreaction, releases the humiliated teacher and tries to move past the awkward moment. Later, during a break, the teacher surprisingly praises the spy's quick reflexes. Meanwhile, the bullies are struggling to eat their lunch in the cafeteria due to the beating they received from Dae-ho. They start discussing plans for revenge, but quickly fall silent when they see Dae-ho approaching. Dae-ho then sits down with them and inquires about the whereabouts of Hye-in's workplace, directly asking the leader of the bullies. Dae-ho approaches the teacher, complaining of a headache and requesting to leave school early. The teacher, still feeling uneasy about their earlier encounter, agrees to let him go, secretly relieved to see Dae-ho depart. Meanwhile, Dae-ho receives his inaugural mission from Unit 8, his affiliated organization. His objective is to track down a notorious assassin targeting former Unit 8 members. His first lead takes him to a small boxing gym run by a man who is his initial target. Dae-ho effortlessly subdues the boxing gym owner and begins an interrogation. When the man denies any connection to the assassin, Dae-ho shows his seriousness by shooting him in the leg. The man attempts to retaliate, grabbing a knife after striking Dae-ho with a chair, but Dae-ho's skills prove superior, and he delivers a decisive blow, ending the confrontation. Next, Dae-ho visits a butcher, who appears more willing to cooperate. The butcher provides Dae-ho with crucial information, the license plate number of the assassin's vehicle. However, the butcher's cooperation turns out to be a ruse, as he attempts to ambush Dae-ho within the fridge of his store. Dae-ho dodges the butcher's meat-wielding attacks and swiftly eliminates him. Continuing his pursuit, Dae-ho soon spots the assassin and approaches him on his bike. But the assassin is vigilant, notices Dae-ho drawing his gun, and speeds away. Dae-ho takes aim and manages to hit one of the car's tires, causing it to crash and trap the assassin inside. With the sole intention of eliminating his target, Dae-ho approaches the wreckage, ready to strike the final blow. Dae-ho refrains from killing the assassin, aware that the surrounding crowd, including students recording the scene on their phones, would lead to unwanted police attention and jeopardize his mission. He decides to retreat, acknowledging that this confrontation will have to be postponed. However, their rematch isn't far off. A few nights later, Dae-ho returns home to find the assassin waiting for him. As he approaches, unbuttoning his jacket, the assassin swiftly turns the tables, gaining the upper hand. The two skilled fighters engage in an intense battle, showcasing their expertise as they exchange blows and demolish the house. Despite their equal training, Dae-ho appears to have a slight edge. Realizing he's gaining the upper hand, the assassin attempts to draw his gun, but Dae-ho swiftly overpowers him, wresting the weapon away. Undeterred, the assassin produces a hidden knife and tries to strike Dae-ho, who resourcefully uses a nearby soda can to deflect the attack. Seizing the opportunity, Dae-ho turns the tables, using the same knife to deliver a fatal blow to the assassin. Anticipating a thorough investigation, Dae-ho decides to stage the scene to resemble an accident. He sabotages the gas pipes and places a kitchen knife in the microwave, which sparks and ignites the gas, causing the house to explode. With his mission accomplished, Dae-ho swiftly departs the scene on his bike. After relocating to a new safe house, he receives a phone call from the army colonel who trained him as a spy. Dae-ho's new mission is to target members of Sector 35, a North Korean organization affiliated with the rising dictator Kim Jong-un, who is poised to succeed the current leader Kim Jong-il, to whom Unit 8 is loyal. Dae-ho carries out his orders, infiltrating a Sector 35 meeting and eliminating several members. In the chaos, he also seizes a valuable package containing $30 million worth of diamonds. Meanwhile, a high-ranking North Korean official has arranged a secret meeting with representatives from China and South Korea. The North Korean official reveals to the Chinese and South Korean representatives that Kim Jong-il's health is deteriorating, paving the way for Kim Jong-un's ascension to power. As a gesture of goodwill, they offer to provide the names of Unit 8 operatives living in China and South Korea. Meanwhile, Dae-ho is informed that he is free to return to North Korea and reunite with his sister, but unbeknownst to him, the political landscape has shifted. In a shocking turn of events, the man assigned to escort him back to North Korea by sea turns against him, attacking Dae-ho with a knife. Dae-ho manages to recover from the attack and fights off his would-be killer, but realizes that the North Koreans have turned against him, making it impossible for him to return home. With nowhere else to go, he seeks refuge with Hyun, sleeping at her house. However, Hyun's loyalty is tested when she sees the news revealing the identities of North Korean spies in South Korea, including Dae-ho's face. The next morning, the colonel contacts Dae-ho, revealing a shocking twist: he is already in South Korea, and has brought Dae-ho's younger sister with him. The colonel proposes a trade, the diamonds in exchange for Dae-ho's sister. Dae-ho suspects a trap but cannot abandon his sister, so he leaves a note for Hyun, instructing her to alert the police about the meeting. At the exchange, the colonel and Dae-ho display their respective packages, but as expected, an agent attempts to shoot Dae-ho from behind. However, a police officer intervenes, shooting the agent first. The situation erupts into chaos as North Korean agents engage in a fierce gunfight with the police. As Dae-ho battles the colonel, the car carrying his sister is stopped by the police, ensuring her safety. Dae-ho takes advantage of the distraction to escape, unsure of his next move. However, the colonel retaliates by kidnapping Hyen, Daeho's schoolmate. In response, Daeho contacts a detective, leaving the call open to allow the police to trace his location. He then infiltrates the colonel's hideout, using the diamonds as a diversion by tossing them in the air, momentarily distracting everyone. Seizing the opportunity, Daeho begins to take down the colonel's men, sparking an intense shootout. Despite taking down many enemies, Daeho is also gravely injured by their gunfire. As he tries to escape with Hyen, they are surrounded, prompting Daeho to throw a bag of explosives near gas containers, triggering a massive blast. Amidst the chaos, Daeho is grabbed by a remaining agent. But he instructs Hyen to flee. As the colonel approaches, attempting to shoot Daeho, he uses the agent as a human shield, then seizes a gun and fights back. Just as the situation seems dire, the police detective arrives on the scene. The three men, Daeho, the colonel, and the detective, are embroiled in a desperate and intense standoff. Daeho realizes that his options are bleak, either death or imprisonment. In a final act of defiance, the young spy tells the detective to end the situation and shoots the colonel, who returns fire and hits Daeho multiple times. Mortally wounded, Daeho is rushed into a car by the detective and Hyen, bound for the hospital. However, time runs out, and Daeho succumbs to his injuries in the car. As he takes his last breath, Hyen is left to grapple with the truth about her best friend's past and the motivations behind his actions. Hyen chooses to become a foster sibling to Daeho's younger sister, also named Hyen, ensuring her care and well-being even after Daeho's departure, as he had entrusted his sister's care to the one person he trusted.